गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं 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 गणपतये नमः।
नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ஓம் நம சிவாய 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 ஓசை ஒலி எல்லாம் ஆனாயே உலகுக்கு ஒருவனாய் நின்றாய் நீயே ஓசை ஒலி எல்லாம் ஆனாய் நீயே உலகுக்கு ஒருவனாய் நின்றாய் நீயே பாசமலரெல்லாம் ஆனாய் நீயே மலையான் மாருகனாய் நின்றாய் நீயே பேச பெரிதும் இனியாய் நீயே பிரானாயாடி என்மேல் வைத்தாய் நீயே தேச விளக்கெல்லாம் ஆனாய் நீயே திருவையாரகலாது செங்கோத்தோதி ஆரும் மாறியா இடத்தாய் நீயே ஆகாயும் தேருர வல்லாய் நீயே பேரும் பெரிய இலங்கை வேந்தன் பெரிய முடிபத்து இருத்தாய் நீயே ஊரும் ஊர மூன்றும் அட்டாய் நீயே ஒன் தாமரையானும் மாலும் கூடி தேரும் மடி என்னே வைத்தாய் நீயே திருவையாரகலாது செங்கோத்தோதி திருவையாரகலாது செங்கோத்தோதி திருவையாரகலாது செங்கோத்தோதி மாசல் வீணையும் மாலை மதியமும் மாசல் வீணையும் மாலை மதியமும் வீசு தென்றலும் வீங்கிழவேனிலும் வீசு தென்றலும் வீங்கிழவேனிலும் மூசு வண்டரை பொய்கையும் போன்றதே மூசு வண்டரை பொய்கையும் போன்றதே ஈசன் என்றே இணையடி நிழலே ஈசன் என்றே இணையடி நிழலே நம சிவாயவே ஞானமும் கல்வியும் நம சிவாயவே ஞானமும் கல்வியும் நம சிவாயவே நான் அறிவீற்றையும் நம சிவாயவே நான் அறிவீற்றையும் நம சிவாயவே நாவென்று ஏத்துமே நம சிவாயவே நாவென்று ஏத்துமே நம சிவாயவே நன்னெறி காட்டுமே நம சிவாயவே நன்னெறி காட்டுமே விறகில் தீயனின் பாலில் படுனி போல் விறகில் தீயனின் பாலில் படுனி போல் மறையனின்றுளன் மாமணி சோதியான் மறையனின்றுளன் மாமணி சோதியான் உறவு கோல் நட்டு உணர்வு கயிற்றினால் உறவு கோல் நட்டு உணர்வு கயிற்றினால் முருக வாங்கி கடியமு நிற்குமே முருக வாங்கி கடியமு நிற்குமே மாதர் பிறை கண்ணியானே மலையான் மகளொடும் பாடி மாதர் பிறை கண்ணியானே மலையான் மகளொடும் பாடி போதோடு நீர் சுமந்தேதி போதோடு நீர் சுமந்தேதி புகுவரவர் பின் புகுவேன் யாதும் சுவடு படாமல் ஐயாரடுகின்ற போது யாதும் சுவடு படாமல் ஐயாரடுகின்ற போது காதல் மட பிடியோடும் காதல் மட பிடியோடும் களிருவருவன கண்டேன் கண்டேன் அவர் திருப்பாதம் கண்டறியாதன 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 கண்டேன் வளர்மதி கண்ணியே நானே வார்குழலாளொடும் பாடி வளர்மதி கண்ணியே நானே வார்குழலாளொடும் பாடி களவு படாததோர் காலம் களவு படாததோர் காலம் காண்பான் கடி கண்ணிற்கின்றேன் அளவு படாததோர் அன்போடு ஐயார் அடுகின்ற போது அளவு படாததோர் அன்போடு ஐயார் அடுகின்ற போது இளமணனாகு கழுவி இளமணனாகு கழுவி ஏறுவருவன கண்டேன் கண்டேன் அவர் திருப்பாதம் கண்டறியாதன 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 கண்டேன்
சுற்றுனை வேதியும் சோதிவானவர் ஒற்றுனை தீருந்தடி பொருந்த கை தொழ சுற்றுனை வேதியும் சோதிவானவர் ஒற்றுனை தீருந்தடி பொருந்த கை தொழ சுற்றுனை வேதியும் சோதிவானவர் ஒற்றுனை தீருந்தடி பொருந்த கை தொழ கற்றுமை கூட்டியோ கடலில் பாய்ச்சினோ கற்றுனை கூட்டியோர் கடலில் பாய்ச்சினும் கற்றுனை கூட்டியோர் கடலில் பாய்ச்சினும் கற்றுனை கூட்டியோர் கடலில் பாய்ச்சினும் நற்றுணையாவது நம சிவாயவே நற்றுணையாவது நம சிவாயவே இல்லக விளக்கது இருள் கெடுப்பது இல்லக விளக்கது இருள் கெடுப்பது சொல்லக விளக்கது சோதி உள்ளது பல்லக விளக்கது பலரும் காண்பது நல்லக விளக்கது நம சிவாயவே மாப்பினை தழுவிய மாதோன் பாதத்திலும் கூப்பினை தீருந்தடி பொருந்த கையில் தொழ மாப்பினை தழுவிய சகாயா எங்கள் கோமல ராஜா நம் துன்பத்தை தீர்க்க நல்வழி காட்டும் பாபா கணேசாயா எங்கள் ஜகநாதா. கோச செய்வோமே பஜனை செய்வோமே நீங்கள் வரவில்லையே.
மானி நேர்விழி மாதராய் பழுதிக்குமா பெரும் தேவிகள் பாலல்வாய் ஒரு காலன் நீங்கிவன் என்று நீ பரியிடிதல் ஆனை மாமலை ஆதியாய இடங்களில் பல அல்லல் சேர் இனர் கற்குயலியலேம் திரு ஆலவாயரன் நிற்கவே எக்கராமம்மன் கையெரு குயலியலேம் திருவாலவாய் சொக்கன் என்னுள்ளிருக்கவே துலுங்கும் முடித்தண்ணன் முன்னிவே தக்க சீ புகலிக்குமன் தமிழ்நாதன் ஞான சம்பந்தன் வாய் ஒக்கவே ஊரை செய்த பாத்தும் உரைப்பவர் இடரில்லையே.
திருசிற்றம்பகாய ச தர்மஸ்ய சர்வதர்மஸ்வரூபிணே அவதாரவரிஷ்ठाय ராமகிருஷ்ணாய தே நமः. भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति दुःखकरणे नहि नहि रक्षति दुःखकरणे भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते मूढजगीहि धनागमतृष्णा मूढजगीहि धनागमतृष्णा कुरु सद्बुद्धिं मनसि वितृष्णा कुरु सद्बुद्धिं मनसि वितृष्णा यल्लभसे निज कर्मोपातं यल्लभसे निज कर्मोपातं कृतं तेन विनोदय चित्तं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते शक्तः तावन् निज परिवारो रतः यावत् पार्जन शक्तः तावन् निज परिवारो रतः पश्चाज्जीवति पश्चाज्जीवति भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते जन यौवनगणम् हरति निमेषात् काल सर्वम् गुरुधन जन यौवनगणम् हरति निमेषात् काल सर्वम् मायामयमिदम् अखिलम् हित्वा मायामयमिदम् अखिलम् हित्वा ब्रह्मपदं त्वं प्रविश विदित्वा ब्रह्मपदं त्वं प्रविश विदित्वा भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सुरमन्दिरतरु मूलनिवासः शय्याभूतलम् अजिनं वासः सुरमन्दिरतरु मूलनिवासः शय्याभूतलम् अजिनं वासः सर्वपरिग्रह भोगत्यागः सर्वपरिग्रह भोगत्यागः कस्य सुखं न करोति विरागः कस्य सुखं न करोति विरागः भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते भगवद्गीता किञ्चिदधीता भगवद्गीता किञ्चिदधीता गङ्गाजललव कणिका पीता भगवद्गीता किञ्चिदधीता गङ्गाजललव कणिका पीता सकृदपि येन मुरारी सकृदपि येन मुरारी समर्च सकृदपि येन मुरारी समर्च क्रियते तस्य यमेन न चर्चा क्रियते तस्य यमेन न चर्चा भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणं पुनरपि जननं पुनरपि मरणं पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनं पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम् इह संसारे बहु दुस्तारे इह संसारे बहु दुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते गेयं गीता नाम सहस्रं ध्येयं श्रीपति रूपमजस्रं गेयं गीता नाम सहस्रं ध्येयं श्रीपति रूपमजस्रं ज्ञेयं सज्जन संगे चित्तं ज्ञेयं सज्जन संगे चित्तं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते अर्थमनर्थं भावय नित्यं नास्ति तद सुख क्लेश सत्यम् अर्थमनर्थं भावय नित्यं नास्ति तद सुख क्लेश सत्यम् पुत्रादपि धनभाजं भीतिः पुत्रादपि धनभाजं भीतिः सर्वत्रैषा विहिता रीतिः सर्वत्रैषा विहिता रीतिः भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते गुरुचरणाम्बुज निर्भर भक्तः संसार रचिराभवमुक्तः गुरुचरणाम्बुज निर्भर भक्तः संसार रचिराभवमुक्तः सेन्द्रियमानस नियमादेवं सेन्द्रियमानस नियमादेवं द्रक्ष्यसि निज हृदयस्थं देवं द्रक्ष्यसि निज हृदयस्थं देवं भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते
கூற்றாயினவாருவில ககலீர் கொடுமை பல செய்தன நான் அறியேன் கூற்றாயினவாருவில ககலீர் கொடுமை பல செய்தன நான் அறியேன் ஏற்றாயடிகே இரவும் பகலும் ஏற்றாயடிகே இரவும் பகலும் பிரியாத வணங்குவன் எப்பொழுதும் பிரியாத வணங்குவன் எப்பொழுதும் தோற்றாதன் வயிற்றின் அகம்படியே துடரோடு துடகி முடகிட தோற்றாதன் வயிற்றின் அகம்படியே குடரோடு துடகி முடகிட ஆற்றே நடியேன் அதிகை கெடில ஆற்றே நடியேன் அதிகை கெடில வீரட்டான துறை அம்மானே வீரட்டான துறை அம்மானே போட்டாயங்கோராணியின் இரத்தோல் புறங்காடரங்கானட மாடவல்லாய் போர்தாயங்கோராணியின் இரத்தோல் புறங்காடரங்கானட மாடவல்லாய் ஆத்தானருகன் தனிமால் கீழ் ஆத்தானருகன் தனிமால் கீழாத்தி அருள் செய்த அது கருதாயாத்தி அருள் செய்த அது கருதாய் வேதம் புரண்டும் விழுந்தும் எழுந்தால் என் வேதனையான விலகிடாய் வேதம் புரண்டும் விழுந்தும் எழுந்தால் என் வேதனையான விலகிடாய் ஆத்தா புனல் சூழ் அதிகை கடில ஆத்தார் புனல் சூழ் அதிகேடில வீரட்டான துறை அம்மானே வீரட்டான துறை அம்மானே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். கல்லூர் பெருமானம் வேண்டா கழுமாலம் கல்லூர் பெருமானம் வேண்டா கழுமாலம் பல்லூர் பெருமானம் பாட்டுமையாதில பல்லூர் பெருமானம் பாட்டுமையாதில சொல்லூர் பெருமானம் சுடலறிய தொண்டே சொல்லூர் பெருமானம் சுடலறிய தொண்டே நல்லூர் பெருமானம் நேயனம்பானே நல்லூர் பெருமானம் நேயனம்பானே. நருங்கோழில் காழியுள் ஞான சம்பந்தன் நருங்கோழில் காழியுள் ஞான சம்பந்தன் பெரும்பத நல்லூர் பெருமனத்தானே பெரும்பத நல்லூர் பெருமனத்தானே. கூறும்பொருளால் சொன்ன பொன்தாமிழ் வேளார்க்கு கூறும்பொருளால் சொன்ன பொன்தாமிழ் வேளார்க்கு ஆறும் பழிப்பாவம் அவலமிலாரே ஆறும் பழிப்பாவம் அவலமிலாரே.
ஓம் நம சிவாய ஹரி ஓம்.
செவியன் விடையேறிவோர் தூவெண் மதிசூடி தோடுடைய செவியன் விடையேறிவோர் தூவெண் மதிசூடி காடுடைய சுடலை சுடலை பொடி பூசியன் உள்ளம் கவர் கல்வன் ஏடுடைய
Prem Namaste, embodiments of love. It's a humble request from our residing priest, Guruji, that we do observe silence. We're here to observe with the family, with love, care, and upliftment of God. So it's a humble request from Guruji that we observe silence during this time. Thank you.
பிரமாபுரமேவிய பிரம்மானிவன் நன்றே அருணெறிய மறைவல்ல முனியகன் பொய்கையாளர் மேய அருணெறிய மறைவல்ல முனியகன் பொய்கையாளர் மேய பெருநெறிய பிரமா பெருநெறிய பிரமாபுரமேவிய பிரம்மானிவன் தன்வி ஒரு நெறிய மனம் வைத்துணர் ஞானசம் வந்த
That's his two sisters. His two sisters. These two are my father's sister. Yeah. Aunties.
After.
Others, yeah.
Put your palm together. அருட்பெருஞ்சோதி தனி பெருங்கருணை தனி பெருங்கருணை அருட்பெருஞ்சோதி அருட்பெருஞ்சோதி தனி பெருங்கருணை தனி பெருங்கருணை அருட்பெருஞ்சோதி அருட்பெருஞ்சோதி தனி பெருங்கருணை தனி பெருங்கருணை அருட்பெருஞ்சோதி நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க நாதந்தாள் வாழ்க எமை பொருதும் என்னென்று நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க குகரியாண்ட குருமதி தந்தாள் வாழ்க ஈசனரி போற்றி எங்களரி போற்றி தேசனரி போற்றி செவன் சேவரடி போற்றி மாயப்பெருக்கும் மன்னனடி போற்றி ஸ்ரீரான் புரந்துரை தேவனடி போற்றி 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 அப்பாலோட பேர் என்ன?
Barthasarthy Rajagopaul Naidoo.
பார்த்தாதி ராஜ்கோபால் நாயுடு ஆராகிய பெருமானே அறியும் அறியாமலும் தெரியும் தெரியாமலும் குற்ற செய்தாலும் அழியும் பொழியும் செய்தாலும் பாவங்கள் செய்தாலும் பொழியும் செய்தாலும் பெற்ற தாயை தந்து மறந்தாலும் ஓம் நமச்சிவாய உன்னை நான் வணங்குகிறேன். பேர் என்ன? ரவிக்குமாரன் தாத்தாக்காக கொலியாகி போட்டிருக்கிற பெருமான குருவாக தெய்வாக ஆதிதேவனும் சர்வலோக நமச்சிவாய பெருமான குடும்பமாராகி அங்களோட நெஞ்சு குழுமாகி பாரமாக நிற்குது. அந்த பாரத்தாக வந்து எரிஞ்சிக் கொண்டு நிற்கிற பெருமான நமச்சிவாய பெருமான சிறுமக்களாகி அங்களோட நெஞ்சு குழுமாகி கவலையாக நிற்குது. அந்த கவலையாக வந்து ஏற்றிக்கொண்டு நிற்கிற பெருமான நமச்சிவாய பெருமான ஆத்மா அழுக்கூடாது சாயக்கூடாது அமைதியாக சேகரிக்கிறோம். ஓ நமச்சிவாய நமச்சிவாய ஓம் நமச்சிவாய நமஹ. So one more paper for Dinesh. Raise the flower up. All of them are saying Namah together. Okay. Om Shivaya Namaha. Om Yendai Namaha. Om Kamyaya Namaha. Om Lambodara Namaha. Om Vishnu Vinayaka Namaha. Om Vishnu Rajai Namaha. Om Balaganapati Namaha. Om Sakti Ganapati Namaha. Om Veeraganapati Namaha. Om Rajeshwarane Namaha. Om Tumbikkanayaka Namaha. No, wait. Om Appane Potri Pandava Irema Ida Imari Oma Sumantu Devane Kadavule Ayyane Ilavane Kalativa Cheturmane Uvage Devage Anum Ponnum Purulum Isane Kailasavasane Kadavule Namachivaya Potri Let Punjab is it? Okay.
On the brick. No. Oh, to turn, yeah. Tony must be.
You must tell him to go in your head, Rob.
Leave it down, baby. Leave it down.
Down.
Take the coconut.
Send the coconut on the
Vinayaka Karmanake Netrikanani Rekanne Kannapadan Sanyai Om Samatyami Nina Ganga Gauri Ramana Saraswati Kaveri Jamuna Namachivaya Namaha
break it
Share the coins.
Share the coins.
Share the coins.
Share it with it.
Yeah, I'm just giving one each.
Buy one. Buy one. Really cool.
I take one for Ravi. Yeah, for Ravi.
The big one.
Yeah. It is 50 cents.
You can look up.
Yeah, take that.
Watch what she's doing. That's what she'll do. Put the conscience.
Oh, sorry.
Put your hand.
Right.
Talk to your father.
Yeah.
First, put one to side, Lena.
One on either side of the Ganesha. Well done.
No, on the tray.
On the tray.
Wait, give Ravi to do it.
Got a coin in the bread. Yeah. In the coin. Yeah.
There's a coin here, baby.
He got. No, that coin.
Put the coconut more. Put the chumbo there. Make space, put the chumbo there. Take the apple, put it as a coconut. Right, that's fine. Hold this, Nina. All of you are touch onto each other. Stir the milk.
Stir it.
Halagya Perumana Guru Vaga Devaga Isa Kriya Priya Jnana Shakti Jnanage Om Hari Namo Narayana Namachivaya Namachivaya Namaha. Put 3 camels as a coconut. Adi Shakti.
No, dip again.
Mahashakti. Kriya Shakti Namaha. Right, leave it in the milk there. Leave the glass. Light the chapel inside there.
No, in the inside. Yeah.
Okay. Tony must be saying they know. It's the fan, Ravi. Let me stand here.
Right to 3 capers. Put all the matchstick in there. Yes. Right to 3 capers.
Put it in, Ravi.
No, put it on. No, just light it, put it on.
No,
Pay
use
my
a match,
attention,
Ravi.
pay.
When you get burnt. Use a match. Yeah, I'll stand here.
Just tell him to put the fan on. No, don't.
No, it's fine. We're doing it. Yeah, it's too hot otherwise.
Pass me the matches, Nina. Can't you? Pick the Jivakrutam up.
This bit.
No,
All of you touch together. Continue turning. Ushaka Vagana Ongana Nada Sabala Karana Venangara Sutra Vamala Ruva Maheshwara Putra Vikna Vinayaka Padave Namatu Navadiginja Perumane Sottune Vediyan Sodi Vanavan Pottune Tirandadi Purundadi Kaitore Kattane Posium Kadalal Pasium Nattavayavadu Namachivaya. Put all together. Namachivaya, Namachivaya, Namaha.
I'm holding it.
Leave it down to that. 3 times water. Ganga, Gauri, Ramana, Saraswati, Kaveri, Jamuna, Nirmala, Kodari, Adi Parashakti, Namachivaya, Namachivaya, Namaha. Kanti, it's a puri. Smash it, smash it, smash it. Smash it. You need your microphone to be close.
The thing is, we don't even know.
Go on the other side. Take it up. You're holding the hand.
Yeah.
Put the laptop somebody.
Not that.
Not that. This one.
This one here.
Yeah, like that. You got to hold it on your shoulder.
Eh? Yeah, I can do this.
How should we go for it now? Pass me the difficult. Who are the grandchildren? Right. You need to follow Auntie Kanti, right? Om Sarasatvalam Hare Mare Hanumanam Amarata Muniretamo Mure Mure Vanigiyetro Mudal Vane Namasivaya 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 Adiya Vedavana Adi Muri Tiniyarvano Yodiya Ninavarande Tone Vane Namasivaya துணைவனே நம சிவாய துணைவனே நம சிவாய துணைவனே நம சிவாய துணைவனே நம சிவாய இனி அடித்தேடிக்கானால் ஏவுலகம் கடந்தே கனையுட வேத உண்டு கடவுள நம சிவாய கடவுள நம சிவாய கடவுள நம சிவாய கடவுள நம சிவாய கடவுள நம சிவாய.
We must have put it on the tray.
Turn your stick, put it there. Turn your stick, put it there.
What to?
My daughter, she's my daughter. 10. ஆதி தேவனும் சர்வலோகேன் பெருமான வாய் காட்சியாகி போட்டு நிற்கிறோம். ஈசா கிரியா பிரியா ஞான சக்தி ஞானாகி அகிலான தேவனும் சர்வதேவம் சர்வசாஸ்திரா பகவதி நமச்சிவாய நமச்சிவாய நமஹ. Take your trail, please, Papa. And I'm done with you. This is the
Can I speak? Can I speak?
Yes, yes, yes.
Where's the mic?
ஞானதம் வந்த நூரை செய்த திருநெறிய தமிழ்வல் திருநெறிய தமிழ்வல் அவர் கொள்வினை தீர்த்தல் எளிதாமே. சங்கரா சிவ சங்கரா சிவ சங்கரா சிவ சங்கரா சங்கரா சிவ சங்கரா சிவ சங்கரா சிவ சங்கரா. பத்தனாய் பாட மாட்டேன் பரமனே பரம யோகி எத்தினால் பக்தி செய்கேன் எனிகழ வேண்டான் முத்தன முதல்வாதில்லை அம்பலே தாடுகின்ற அத்தாவும் ஆடல் காண்பான் அடியனேன் வந்த வாரே மண்ணுண்ட மாலவனும் மலர்மிசை மன்னி நாடும் விண்ணுண்ட திருவூருவும் விரும்பினார் காண மாட்டார் திண்ணுண்ட திருவேமிக்க தில்லை சீற்றம்பலத்தே பண்ணுண்ட பாடலோடும் பரமணியாடு மாறே
श्री नारायण जय नारायण जय जय नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण जय नारायण जय जय नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण
திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஓம் நமே சிவாய. ஓம் நமே சிவாய. ஓம் நமே சிவாய. நமே சிவாய வாழ்க. நாதென்னால் வாழ்க. இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. நமே சிவாய வாழ்க. நாதென்னால் வாழ்க. இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. நமே சிவாய வாழ்க. நாதென்னால் வாழ்க. இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a humble request to please observe silence. Thank you.
ஓதே துவாரியவர் நீலவுலாமே நீர்வாணிவேந்தியன் ஆலையோ சோதியே அம்பலத்துளாரிவார் மாலர் சிலம்படி மாரியேவனே
அருள் புரிய வேண்டும். ஆறுயதற்கெல்லாம் நான் அன்பு செய்ய வேண்டும். எப்பாடும் எப்பதமும் எங்கனும் நான் சென்றேன். என்னை நினைந்து அருள் புகழே இயம்பிட வேண்டும். செப்பாதமே நிலைமை சுத்து சிவமாற்றும். செப்பாதமே நிலைமை சுத்து சிவமாற்றும். திகதோங்கு அருஜோதி செலுத்துடையல் வேண்டும். தப்பேதி நான் சேரும் நீ பொறுத்த வேண்டும். தப்பேதி நான் சேரும் நீ பொறுத்த வேண்டும். தலைவனினை பிரியாது நிலைமயம் வேண்டுவனே. தலைவனினை பிரியாத நிலைமயம் வேண்டுவனே. நிலைமயம் வேண்டுவனே. நிலைமயம் வேண்டுவனே.
राधा कृष्ण जय कुंज विहारी मुरलीधर गोवर्धन धारी राधा कृष्ण जय कुंज विहारी मुरलीधर गोवर्धन धारी राधा कृष्ण जय कुंज विहारी मुरलीधर गोवर्धन
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, wow, wow, wow. I cannot believe that I have to stand up and deliver this eulogy. How on earth did we get to this day? We had become so used to Jah's presence in our lives that we were delusional enough to believe that it will last forever. After all, it did last for 64 years of my life, 60 years of Nessie's life, and 58 years of Sheena's. There's a standing joke in my family that I always introduce myself as good morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Primarashni Chetty, and I am the eldest daughter of Jah and Sundri Naidoo, who are here in the audience, and long may it last. Well, that's exactly who I will remain forever, but sadly, they are not here today to hear me speak. Because I work with books, I've long believed that a person's life is very much like a book. The day you are born, over which you have absolutely no control, is the first page. And the day you die, when you also have no control over it, is the last page. The pages in between make up the vast chapters of your life, chapters that you write and which you have absolute control over. I would now like to tell you a story through the chapters of Jah's Book of Life. For information purposes, I will begin with Jah's last chapter. He died on Wednesday morning, surrounded by all of us who loved him. We watched as his breath became labored and shallow. His vital signs dropped slowly, and slowly he slipped away from us. There was nothing dramatic, no huge gurgle, no sound, just a peaceful quietness. And right there and then, in that moment, he ceased to exist, and it was all over. But how did we get there? Jah celebrated a glorious 97th birthday, hale and hearty, with all of us in attendance. All was well in the world, and all was well with our family. A few days later, on the 6th of October, he called me to say that he was slightly unwell and needed to go to hospital. Well, he walked into the hospital with his walking stick. And yet, from that day onwards, his health went downhill. We went from being fit to dialysis twice a week, and just when we thought we had overcome that, it was one complication after the other, until he needed to be ventilated 2 weeks ago. We and he mounted a mammoth battle against his ill health. We actually challenged science to keep him alive. We pushed the boundaries. We asked the doctors to do everything and anything. You had to know us at that point in time to understand how hard we fought. Yet, it was to no avail. At this point, I have to mention 2 doctors amongst the many number that we met along the way. The first is Dr. Sean Pillay, who single-handedly got Dad to 97, who tended to both my parents for the past 29 years, from the time he opened his practice. Thank you, Dr. Sean. You know how special you are to us. And for all that we've known Sean for 29 years, in this recent admission in November, when we realized that Dad had a kidney problem, we came across a young Dr. Mitesh Singh. Now, sometimes in your life, you meet somebody that you can't abide. It's short, it's sweet, and you say goodbye. And at other times, you meet someone who is so similar to you in terms of your values, your compassion, and empathy that you just gel and a bond is formed. I want to say a special thank you to this phenomenal human being who fought so hard with us. Whatever we asked of him, he did so willingly, even at times when I saw that he didn't agree because he thought we were pushing Dad too far. I want to tell him that we won. Dad came home for Christmas and sat at the table with us. He played 2 rounds of thani I suspect that despite my denial, that Kuben and the kids did give him a little shot that night. I know that Dr. Mitesh Singh's mum is here. I want you to know that he grew up a phenomenal young man. You should be so proud of him, and we are forever indebted to him. If you would please give him that message from me personally and from my family generally. But who was this man that we fought so hard for, and why did we do it? Simply put, as Prashina would always say at functions, she would put her arm around Dad and say, "Hey, Ja, they say you were the best goalkeeper. They say you were the quickest between the wickets. And they say you served the fastest ace in tennis. But your greatest achievement was in being my father, our father." And it was. We did all that we did for him because he would have done the same for us, if not more. You see, Dad loved nothing and nobody more than he loved his 3 puppies. His face lit up when he saw us. He made us feel like we were the most beautiful women in the world. He thought we walked taller than we really were. And he definitely thought we were fatter than we really are. You see, Dad kept his weight extremely well. He forgot that we were 3 menopausal women whose weight accumulated around the waist. He would look at us and say, "Hey, puppies, getting fatties there," and we knew immediately it was time to diet. Of course, when he had completely given up with Nessie and I, he would say, "But look at Sinma, she doesn't get so fat." So I am jumping around the chapters of Ja's story. So let's go back to the beginning. He was born on the 3rd of October, 1926. So on the day of his death, he was 97 years and 3 months old. He was the grandson of indentured laborer Naraini Gangappa Reddy, whose colonial number was 28343, who arrived on the 19th of April, 1883, on a ship, the Coldstream, ship number 216. Dad remembered his grandmother well, and he regaled us with stories of how feisty she was and how she lived to 103, and he was going to do that too. Of course, God in his wisdom had other plans. Dad had a glorious childhood in Boone Street and always loved the concept of the extended family. In fact, he thrived living within the extended family. In North African countries, they have a tradition of burying their dead by honoring them with lavish coffins. The wealthier you are, the more expensive the casket, to the extent that someone was recently buried in a Ferrari. I was thinking about what would I bury my father with? And then I remembered that the Naidoos were expert market gardeners. That's what they did. They grew vegetables. They grew every single vegetable and ate of the land. In order to honor that, for Dad and the Naidoo family, you will notice a wheelbarrow of vegetables in the foyer as you enter. They would push the cart to the market laden with vegetables, and Dad told us, because he and Balan were similar in age and stature, he had to push on the right-hand side and Balan on the left. But he suspected that Balan was just placing his hands on the cart because he couldn't believe that he had to struggle that much to push the cart. So how did he get the name Ja? The Naidoos were staunch, ardent Royals cricket supporters and players. Well, on one such game against their most vilified competitors, who was Italians, he was batting and he was on 99 runs. when his oldest brother, Kessi teacher, sent a runner to tell him, "Bat cautiously now, Ja, you only need one run for a century." Well, he was young, he wasn't going to listen to anybody. He swung for a big six, got caught, and Big Dad's was livid. He chased him all the way from the ground to home. Dad slipped and cut his tongue on his fall. He needed 2 stitches. And for a long while thereafter, whenever they asked him if he wanted anything, he would say, "Ja, Ja." And that's how he became Ja Naidoo. Dad met Mum when he went to play cricket in Port Elizabeth. Mum's parents ran a trading store there, and Mum kept shop behind the counter. Her friends started coming into the store regularly and asked her if she'd seen that dashing, handsome captain. She responded by saying, "Well, I don't think he's all that impressive. He's so thin and lanky and tall." Mum was short, had a bit of meat on her, and perhaps that's what she was looking for. But he will tell you that when he walked into that store, Mum fell head over heels in love with him. Of course, this banter would go on regularly as to who was right. But in the absence of my mother, who's so ill herself, she came out of hospital at 7 o'clock this morning. We did take Dad home to my home, and she spent about 40 minutes with him. Besides losing Dad and the pain of that, the pain of seeing my mother's grief is intolerable. She cannot believe that he's left her. She has wept and wept. She suffered a stroke, so her speech is slightly impaired. It is getting better. So can you imagine what we felt like when we heard my mother with her impaired speech wailing for my father? I don't want to be sad today. I don't mind everybody make a big noise. Today is a celebration of my father's life. But I want to tell you a little story about their love and their life. Don't worry, I'm about one of only 2 speakers, so there aren't many speeches, so you'll grant me the length of mine. Mum came from Port Elizabeth, from a life where she did ballroom dancing. She swam. None of us 3 can swim. She spoke Afrikaans fluently. She knew how to make pickled fish. She drove a car, her father's car those days. She had Cape Malay friends. And she said to me one day, "Oh my God, Primi." So you will notice when we were doing the prayer, we're quite inept at it. I mean, you say to my son, drop the water, and I don't know what he was doing there. You say, light the camphor, and he wants to know where's the camphor. So I have not done a good job in terms of religious instruction, but I have to tell you, it came from my parents. Neither of them were overtly religious. My father's family was. My mother was not at all religious, and she didn't even know the rituals. So all she said is she arrived in Boom Street, and within a week of arriving there, they were slaughtering their chickens for some prayer or other, and she was horrified. But believe it or not, we also got to the point where we were doing the dead people's prayers. Mama caught on fast enough, and I have no doubt that these kids will catch on too. Dad was a handsome man. I mean, put your hands up if you want to disagree. He was impressive looking. When he walked into a room, Dad was incredibly shy. He obviously walked into the room with at least 2 whiskeys down, with his walking stick or without it, and everybody turned their heads. To this day, Prashina will stay still so handsome, Ja Naidoo. When we 3 came along, Ja was the happiest man alive. Every occasion in our home was a celebration, and that's why you have to celebrate his life with me today. Every birthday was a cake, weekday or weekend. Every Deepavali was new clothes, and every Christmas we got gifts at the end of our beds. Ja even took us to piano lessons. So my mother arrived from PE with a piano, believe it or not, to Boom Street. She was an accomplished pianist. We traveled by bus to Market Square, then walked up to Miss Goodwin's home in Scottsville. She was a quite staid spinster who should never have been teaching children, let alone piano lessons, which were so foreign to us. We would stop at St. Anne's Bakery for juice and cake, until Prashina, at all of 6 years old, wrote Ja a letter stating that she does not enjoy lessons and neither is she good at it. So could she please stop? Well, our mother, an accomplished pianist herself, would not hear of it, but Ja loved these girls too much. And he said, of course, and agreed with her, you can stop lessons. Hers came to an end. Soon thereafter, Ness opted out. I was the only one left to attend. And I would have hoped I had my mother's skills, but sadly, I'm no good at it at all. Nessie was the one who accompanied him to all his sports games over the weekend. They would be at the highway at 5 a.m. to catch a ride to Balgowan to play cricket at Michael House. Dad's very good friend was the groundsman at Michael House, and that's why they were allowed to have games there. I was too lazy to get up that early, and Sheena was too young. It's no secret that of the three of us, Nessie loved her food. So one day she came home and told Dad that she needs 2 more sandwiches, but that it was for a friend who had none. Well, Dad taught her a lesson in sharing and told her that she had to give one of her sandwiches to a friend and eat one herself. Ness argued that she couldn't do that because she would then go hungry. But Dad insisted that sharing was about sacrificing something yourself. Dad taught us to budget. Every week I got 10 cents and Ness and Sheen got 5 cents each. I am a good 4 and 6 years older than them respectively. We weren't allowed to ask for any more money in between the allowance dates. Dad was extremely proud of us, our achievements, and the women we had become. But he equally loved his sons-in-law and had a great relationship with them. They shared a whiskey or 2 or 3 or 4 and lots of tani, even though Dad would cheat his way along. I wish to sincerely thank both Vaughan and Kuben for the support over this period and for the ways that they have always assisted us in caring for our parents, and for the respect that was always maintained on both sides. Ness told me last night when we were reminiscing that we were actually quite spoilt, although we didn't know it. We were loved so unconditionally and completely, to the extent that when we met our prospective spouses, we had to learn along the way about what this word compromise meant. Dad has lived a good long life. Yet, despite the years we had together, I would give my right arm for more. Everyone tells us how fortunate we were to have him this long. The trouble is, dear friends, that when you have someone in your life for this length of time, you get greedy and you want more. Just when we thought that Dad couldn't get better at being Dad, he certainly excelled at being Granddad. He insisted that all the kids addressed him as Ja Naidoo. After all, that was his name. He fetched them from school every day. He would go to Long Market Girls, and he said in the sea of blue uniforms, he would hear these little voices say, "Tashni, Tashni, your grandpa is here." And then this little hand would grab him and say, "Ja, I'm here." At Wickham, the girls would say, "Maya, Priyanka, Einstein is here to pick you up." But he said that whenever he picked Ravi and his friends up, no matter how cold the day was, he had to wind down all the windows. He taught them to speak the Queen's English like he did us. So you don't say where you or how you say where are you and how are you. He gave us the gift of books. All three of us are avid readers. Ladies and gentlemen, I could just go on and on, but I hope in some way you have the measure of the man and father that he was. Even in this last chapter, when he could barely speak, he taught us patience, fortitude, hope, and faith, and all whilst not saying a single word. Finally, I'm going to say finally at least 10 times because I don't know when I'm going to get to finally. Whilst all 5 grandchildren played a great role in caring for Ja, they were all down from wherever they stay over the Christmas holidays. I have to make a special mention of Dr. Davina Maya Chetty, Kuben and my eldest daughter. Maya, don't forget when you speak, you have to say, I am the eldest daughter of Primi and Kuben Chetty. Darling, I hope you can hear and see me. I hope one day when I grow up, I will be half as dedicated, compassionate, and knowledgeable as you are. You went above and beyond for Ja, and he was ever so grateful. You didn't fail him, Maya. He was right on time to meet his maker, not 1 second earlier. No human intervention was going to stop the divine program. From all of us, darling Maya, thank you. You sacrificed your time, you left Germany on 2 and 3 occasions, and you came to tend to him. She deliberately said she wasn't going to come today. There was no point in it. You came when it mattered most, and that is a measure of both who he was and who you are. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Dad was a fountain of knowledge. He knew everything about Pietermaritzburg and its old families. He would connect families together, from the 100 Brothers to Double Ed Moon, to Left Hand Dan and Right Hand Dan, to Black Dan and White Dan. He knew them all, and all of you are descendants of those families. I'm so sad that that fountain of knowledge, that wealth of connecting people is now gone. Interestingly, I love to hear those stories. It's in my nature. And my sisters say, Akka, you know everybody and you connect them. On a personal level, I'm so grateful to Dad that I am able to know Pietermaritzburg's history in terms of its people. And I shall miss hearing more about that. Just bear with me, please. He was honest to a fault. Not so long ago, a couple of years ago when he was driving, Dad got to Cascades, parked his car, opened his door, and there was a wad of 200 rand notes, a real big wad. Dad picked it up, and he went looking all over the Cascade Center for the owner of that wad of notes. He suspected that it fell off when whoever was in the car next door to him had parked and got off the car. Anyway, long story short, he sat in the sun, he waited for the couple to come, and it was an elderly pensioner couple who were crying but were so grateful to receive that money. And I said to Dad, you don't have a lot of money. Did you ever think that this was a windfall, a sign from God, a good fortunate thing? Did you not think you should keep it? I mean, I'm not sure what I would have done. How many of us could say what we would have convincingly done with that money? And Dad's answer was so prophetic and so simple. He said, no, I couldn't keep it. It did not belong to me. It was not my money. He had a sense of humor, wicked and otherwise. A few functions ago at my home, my sister-in-law Dinky said, hello, Uncle Ja, how are you? He said, I'm absolutely well. I'm like 50 shades of gray. And I thought, oh my God. So I hope it went over Dinky's head, but that night I said to him, Dad, I don't know if 50 Shades of Grey was the most appropriate thing to say. Do you know what 50 Shades of Grey is about? He said, yes, I know. It's about a sexy man who's got 50 shades of grey in his hair. And I thought to myself, I hope to hell Dad doesn't read the book and ask one of these kids to buy it for him. Dad was incredibly vain. Both my parents are vain. The reason why my mother isn't here is she couldn't bear that all of you see her not at her best. Dad was always immaculately dressed. He was always clean-shaven before we got up. He had showered and done his business. He liked nice clothes, shirts and pants that was Nessie's duty to buy, and my God, did she not turn him out well. Really, they were a good-looking old couple. Someone said to me the other day that he was a father not only to us, but had made an impact on so many others too. And in the absence of their own father, Jah took that space. I wish to thank all of you who have supported us over these last few months, especially the staff at 2 places of employment, Nessie and I at Shooters, and Prashina John at St. Christopher's. My boss said to me, a huge tree has fallen whose shade will not be replaced anytime soon, if at all. To our friends and family, we could not have managed these months without you. Thank you for your support, your messages, your prayers. To my 2 sisters and my nieces, thank you for deferring to me and supporting my decisions, even if you quietly disagreed. You made it so easy for there to be no conflict, something Dad would have loved and been so proud of. May we always carry on in that fashion, maintaining the respectful and loving relationships Dad taught us to have. On a personal level, my life was one of service to my parents, especially to Dad, and it was an absolute honor for me to be that one, and I will always be grateful to God for granting me that opportunity. My duty is not over. I still have Mum to care for. You will see that Sundri is not here. I have told you it's because she is too ill to be here. Our duty now is to serve our mother and do more for her than we ever did for Dad, because you see, for 64, 60, and 58 years, she's always believed that we favored him over her, and she was right. So perhaps we have now the opportunity to prove her wrong. We have the opportunity to show her how much we love her, and we will do everything in our power. Maya, I promise you, we will do everything medically to get Mama on her feet again. Finally, you might ask me why I chose Eddles. Look, it's small. It's hot. The fans don't work. I chose to have Jazz celebration at Eddles because it has a bar here. If you know my father well enough, you will know that he always asked you to have one for the road while he had 10 with 10 people who were exiting the house at that point in time. Jah loved his drink. He enjoyed a good drink. So I have turned the normal procedure on its head. I am inviting all of you to stay and have lunch with the family, including the gentlemen. Please go to Kuben, Vaughan, Ravi, Tashni, Priyanka, and order yourselves a drink. On me and my father, let us raise a toast to him. Please have one for the road, have 10 for the road, as long as you have a safe driver to take you home. From here, soon, Dad will go back to Imbali for a little spell. I'm sure he'll be better off than us in a cold room rather than this heat. We will enjoy lunch together from 12 to 1:30. At 1:30, Dad will leave Mbali to go to the crematorium in Caterage, and those of you who would like to attend that part of the ceremony are welcome to leave from here. So my Durban cousins will stay with us, and when you get to Caterage, you don't have to come back here. From there, you can go home. I love that you all came. From the bottom of my heart and my family's heart, thank you so much. Will we ever be the same again? It's unlikely. Will we be better people? Hopefully. Will we ever replace Jai in our lives? Never. He was one of the kind. When God made him, he broke the mold. He was a valiant man. He was so loved, and he loved us in return. Please, for 1 minute, don't think that Dad hasn't heard every single word I've said. He can't hear now. Those of you who think he's here and he's hearing, well and good. He's heard this speech over and over again at every single function, their birthdays, their wedding anniversaries. And I'm grateful for that. We celebrated every occasion, and Dad heard how much we loved him. He heard how much we valued him. He heard how handsome he was. No doubt, his head grew a little bigger every time. But I am so glad to be able to stand here and tell you such a little bit about who my father was. For those of you who don't know him, particularly Mitesh Singh's mother, as we continue our journey of friendship, I wanted you to come today so you will understand who my father was, and when I talk about him in future, you will understand our relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to me. I know it was long, and I know it's hot. I hope my niece is going to be not so long. But we just have one other speaker. The eldest granddaughter, Tashni Manju, will speak on behalf of the 5 grandchildren. She has messages for Maya, who's watching from Germany, and Talia, who's watching from London. The floor is yours, darling. Make us proud. Thank you.
As my grandfather would say, hello there. I'm devastated but proud to stand here with all of you to pay tribute to John Naidoo on behalf of his 5 grandchildren. Jana, Maya, Ravi, Priyanka, Talia, and I stand here as one, just as you taught us to. To our darling John Naidoo, your innings is up, and we are so grateful that you made it to 97 runs. You showed us the true meaning of life being a test match and not an ODI. We must all learn from you to bat carefully between the wickets. Words cannot express how immensely you will be missed. Always kind, always a gentleman, always grateful, up until your last breath. Always proud of us, of all that we did, always there to cheer us on. Always leading by example till the very end. You have displayed your inherent characteristics of resilience, patience, grace, and courage. Even during the tougher times faced, your sense of humor did not dim. You did teach us the Queen's English. He would say, in my country, we say, how are you, not how you. So much so that our cousin Lashantan thought he was actually from the UK. You taught us to always lead with love and kindness, and to be well-mannered and polite above all. You have left us with a plethora of fond memories, from walking to Jolla Shop, to tending to the marigolds in the garden, to learning how to make only the best of chows. Through everything life brought our way, you were always just present. Every step, a constant force of light and guidance. Our biggest cheerleader, our gentle protector, our private chef. In a way, Jah was one of our best friends. We were able to confide in him, share our friends with him, converse over any topic. Most favorably for each of us, in the car after he'd pick us up from school, with a tropica and a snack in hand. Thinking of you through the years make us stand tall and proud, John Naidoo. You are a massive part of who each of us are, and we stand strong together in your stead. It will be very difficult to walk into Sheraton and not hear you say hello there. But don't worry about your precious Tino. We will take care of her. Don't worry about your darling poppies. We will take care of them. We will think of you whenever Arsenal is playing. We'll really miss overhearing your phone calls to Vorney after a Liverpool match to either console or congratulate him. Don't worry, V, we'll continue that banter. We will miss watching you pick your green beans in save, inspecting each one. We carry this lesson in our respective crafts. Priyanka and Maya in their meticulous approach to medicine, Ravi in court, Talia in her ledgers, and for me on the farm, the lesson is quite direct. Yesterday, each one of us were flooded with condolence messages denoting what a remarkable man you are, Ja. Thank you all for all the messages of love and support. Each received message was so unique and so specific. Jana, the impact you've made far and wide prominently speaks for itself. You were so brave, Ja, so brave, and we are just as proud of you as you were of us. You will forever be in our hearts, and Maya said this specifically. On your 100th birthday, we will throw the biggest celebration with all the 1818 you can imagine, looking up into the starry sky to cheers with you and all your family and friends who I'm sure are waiting to open the gates. You fought hard and you fought well. Cherry bye, old chap, our Ja Naidoo. Thank you.
Muranidhara Govardhanadari Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தேடி உன்னை நான் பணிந்தேன் சரஸ்வதியே தாயே, பாடி உன் புகழை சொல்வேன் கலைவாணியே. தேடி உன்னை நான் பணிந்தேன் சரஸ்வதியே தாயே, பாடி உன் புகழை சொல்வேன் கலைவாணியே. நாவினிலே தங்கி நின்றும் பாடிடுவாய், நாவினிலே தங்கி நின்றும் பாடிடுவாய். நாவிலே மருகையெல்லாம் தந்திடுவாய் தேவி. தேடி உன்னை நான் பணிந்தேன் சரஸ்வதியே தாயே.
புனகே
gentlemen, the hour has arrived where we have to really say farewell to Jah. There are some roses here. Everybody is welcome. If you want one last view, please cut a rose from anywhere there, put it in the box, say your goodbyes. He will leave here and have a short respite back at the funeral parlor while you're going to all have lunch with us. We tried our very best to wangle some chops, but that wasn't possible. So it's a full vegetarian lunch, but please have a cold beer or an 1818 or a whiskey, and that was the whole idea of having this in such a hot venue. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much for joining us today. Come along then. We're gonna put... Ladies and gentlemen, the Sunrise senior citizens will afford us a magnificent guard of honor for my father. He was an honorary member in the sense that he didn't think he was senior enough to be a part of the senior citizens. But thank you for doing this for us.
வண்ணம் பத்தினரி அறிவேத பழவினைகள் ஆறும் வண்ணம் சித்தம் வண்ணம் அறிவேத சிவமாக்கி என்னை ஆண்ட சித்தமணம் அறிவேத சிவமாக்கி என்னை ஆண்ட அத்தன் எனக்கு அருளியமா
For those of you who are on the live stream or now be ending the stream, thank you and God bless.
அறியா